Have you ever noticed that some women seem to walk into a room and instantly look like they own the place, even if they are just wearing a simple sweater and trousers? It is not about how much money they have in their bank account or whether they are wearing flashy designer logos. In fact, for women over 50, looking rich and stylish is actually about a series of very specific, quiet wardrobe shifts that signal high status, refinement, and self-respect. As we cross that beautiful threshold of 50, 60, and beyond, the fashion rules that worked in our 20s simply don't apply anymore. If you keep dressing the way you did 2 decades ago, you risk looking like you are trying too hard. But if you give up and hide in shapeless clothes, you become invisible. Today, I am going to share 7 incredibly simple wardrobe changes that will instantly elevate your look, making you appear sophisticated, affluent, and effortlessly chic. These are the secrets that stylists use for their private clients to create that old money aesthetic without spending a fortune. Stick around until the very end, because the 7th change is a tiny adjustment to your accessories that can make a $50 outfit look like it cost $5,000. Let's get right into the first transformation. The first major change is moving away from thin, clingy fabrics and embracing what I call the power of weighty textiles. When we are younger, we can get away with thin polyester blends or flimsy cotton tees because our skin and muscle tone provide the structure for the clothes. But as we mature, we want our clothes to provide the structure for us. Looking rich is synonymous with looking structured. One of the fastest ways to downgrade your appearance is to wear fabric that shows every line of your undergarments or every slight ripple on the skin. To fix this instantly, swap out your thin cardigans for structured blazers or heavy-gauge knitwear. Think about the difference between a flimsy t-shirt and a thick, high-quality Pima cotton top. The heavier fabric skims your body rather than clinging to it. It creates a smooth, architectural line that looks incredibly expensive. Or double-knit jersey. You look grounded and composed. People instinctively treat a woman who looks composed with more deference and respect. It is a subtle psychological cue that says you are a woman of substance. Moving on to the second change, we have to talk about the color of luxury, which is the move toward a monochromatic or tonal palette. High-contrast outfits, like a bright red top with black pants, can often look a bit choppy and can visually shorten your frame. If you want to look posh and stylish, try dressing in different shades of the same color. Imagine an outfit consisting of cream trousers, a beige silk blouse, and an oat-colored wool coat. This tonal layering is the hallmark of the wealthy. Why? Because it suggests that you have the time and the resources to curate a harmonious wardrobe. It creates a long, vertical line of color that makes you look taller and more elegant. You don't have to stick to just beige or white. You can do this with navy, forest green, or even charcoal gray. The key is to keep the tones in the same family. When you remove the visual clutter of competing colors, the focus shifts to your face and your presence. You become the centerpiece of the outfit, not the clothes. This is a classic stylist hack that works every single time for women over 50. The third change is one of my favorites because it costs absolutely nothing, and that is the sleeve and hemline refinement. Many women as they age start wearing sleeves that are a bit too long or trousers that bunch up at the ankles. This creates a sloppy silhouette that is the opposite of looking rich. Stylish, affluent-looking women always look like their clothes were made specifically for them. You can take a $20 pair of trousers from a thrift store, spend $15 at a local tailor to have them hemmed to the exact right length for your favorite shoes, and suddenly they look like bespoke couture. The same goes for your sleeves. A sleeve that hits right at the wrist bone, or a 3/4 length sleeve that shows off your beautiful wrists and perhaps a classic watch, is infinitely more stylish than a sleeve that swallows your hand. Showing a bit of skin at the narrow points of your body, the wrists and the ankles, adds a level of daintiness and intentionality to your look. It shows that you are in control of your garments, rather than being overwhelmed by them. Fourth on the list is a change in your approach to prints. Swap the loud patterns for subtle textures. We've all seen those busy, multicolored floral or geometric prints that seem to dominate the mature section of department stores. While they can be fun, they often lack the sophistication that signals wealth. If you want to look truly stylish and high-end, replace those loud prints with interesting textures. Instead of a floral print jacket, try a navy blue tweed jacket. Instead of a polka dot blouse, try a white silk blouse with a subtle herringbone weave, or a delicate lace trim. Texture adds depth and visual interest without being distracting. It invites people to look closer. When you wear a textured garment, you are playing a whisper game rather than a shouting game. In the world of high fashion and high status, whispering is always more powerful than shouting. A woman in a beautifully textured cream cable knit sweater looks far more expensive than a woman in a bright, busy printed sweatshirt. The fifth change is a big one that affects how you carry yourself. Invest in structured handbags and shoes. You could be wearing the most elegant dress in the world, but if you pair it with a floppy, saggy nylon bag or scuffed, shapeless shoes, the entire illusion of rich and stylish evaporates. Wealthy style is about crispness. A structured leather handbag, one that holds its shape even when it's empty, is a massive status signal. It doesn't have to be a multi-thousand-dollar designer bag. There are many mid-range brands that offer beautiful, structured leather totes and satchels. The same goes for your footwear. Swap out your rounded toe comfort shoes for a sleek pointed toe flat, or a modest block heel with a clean silhouette. A pointed toe naturally elongates the leg and adds a sharp, professional edge to your look. When your accessories have structure, they act as the anchors for your outfit, making everything else look more purposeful and high quality. The sixth wardrobe change involves the art of the third piece. A third piece is simply an extra layer that isn't strictly necessary for warmth but is vital for style. Think of a simple outfit: a white button-down shirt and blue jeans. By themselves, they are just clothes. But add a third piece, like a tailored blazer, a beautiful silk pashmina draped over the shoulders, or a long-line trench coat, and suddenly you have an outfit. The third piece provides that final layer of finish that most people skip. It signals that you put thought into your appearance. For women over 50, a long line vest or a structured duster coat is a secret weapon. It provides a flattering vertical line, covers the midsection if that is a concern, and adds a layer of sophistication that is impossible to ignore. It is the difference between looking like you are running errands and looking like you are on a mission. Finally, we come to the seventh and perhaps most important change: hardware and accessory coordination. This is the tiny detail I mentioned at the beginning. If your handbag has silver zippers, but your belt has a gold buckle, and your jewelry is a mix of both, it creates a subtle visual friction that makes an outfit look disorganized and cheap. To look rich and stylish, pick a metal story and stick to it for the day. If you are wearing gold earrings, make sure your watch, the buckle on your shoes, and the hardware on your bag are also gold-toned. This level of coordination is something the human eye picks up on instantly, even if we don't realize it. It signals a high level of grooming and attention to detail. Additionally, swap out your plastic or chunky costume jewelry for more refined pieces. Thin gold chains, small pearl studs, or a classic leather strap watch are much more rich-looking than large, colorful baubles. It is about a less but better philosophy. One high-quality gold necklace is worth more in style points than 10 pieces of trendy fashion jewelry. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Does this mean I have to get rid of all my fun, colorful clothes and dress like a librarian? Absolutely not. The goal is to take the fun pieces you love and anchor them with these high-status cues. If you have a bright pink blouse that you adore, wear it with a structured cream blazer, the third piece, and a pair of well-tailored navy trousers. Refinement. The combination of your personality with these rich styling rules is where your unique, stylish voice really shines. It's about balance. We aren't trying to hide who you are. We are trying to present the best, most powerful version of you to the world. As we mature, our presence becomes our most valuable asset. Looking rich in this context isn't about vanity. It's about a visual representation of the wisdom and self-assuredness you have gained over the decades. When you take the time to hem your trousers or choose the right fabric, you are telling the world and yourself that you are worth the effort. There is a psychological phenomenon called enclothed cognition. It basically means that the clothes we wear actually change the way we think and act. When you dress in a way that feels stylish and high quality, you naturally stand a little straighter, speak a little more clearly, and navigate the world with more confidence. People, in turn, respond to that confidence. You'll find that you get better service at restaurants, more attention in professional settings, and a general sense of visibility that many women fear losing as they age. Let's dive a little deeper into the fabric aspect because it truly is the foundation. They relied on natural fibers: silk, wool, cashmere, cotton, and linen. These materials have a breathability and a drape that synthetic fibers like polyester and rayon simply cannot replicate. Natural fibers also age much more gracefully. A high-quality wool coat will look better after 10 years than a polyester one will after 10 weeks. If you are on a budget, I highly recommend checking out consignment shops or high-end thrift stores specifically for these natural materials. You can often find a 100% silk blouse for the price of a new polyester one. Looking rich is often about the longevity and quality of your pieces. A rich wardrobe isn't built in a day. It's curated over time by choosing the best you can afford at any given moment. When it comes to the tailoring change, don't be afraid to take your old favorites to the tailor. Maybe you have a blazer that you've loved for years, but the sleeves are just a bit too wide, or the waist is a bit too boxy. A tailor can nip in the waist or slim the sleeves for a fraction of the cost of a new jacket. This customization is the secret of the wealthy. They don't just buy a size 12. They buy a 12 and have it adjusted to fit their specific proportions. As our bodies shift over 50, off-the-rack sizes become less reliable. Tailoring ensures that the clothes are working for your body, not against it. It removes the frump factor instantly. Next, whereas a rich navy or a soft charcoal gray provides a similar slimming effect but with a much gentler glow. If you want to go for a rich tonal look, try a camel and cream combination. This is the ultimate I've made it color palette. It looks warm, inviting, and incredibly high-end. Even if your clothes are from a modest brand, in a camel and cream color story, they will look triple their price. Regarding texture, don't overlook your knitwear. Cheap, thin knits tend to pill and lose their shape after a few washes. This looks cheap very quickly. If you want to look stylish, choose compact knits. This means the stitches are tight and the yarn is high quality. A compact knit cotton sweater will stay looking new and structured for years. Also, consider leather as a texture. A leather skirt or a leather trim on a coat adds a level of edge and richness that is very modern for women over 50. It shows that you are still adventurous and stylish. The handbag and shoe change is also about maintenance. A rich-looking woman never wears shoes with worn-down heels or a bag with frayed edges. Invest in some leather conditioner and a good shoe polish. Taking 5 minutes once a month to refresh your leather goods will keep them looking expensive indefinitely. Also, keep your hardware clean. A quick wipe of a gold buckle with a soft cloth can restore that high-end shine. It's these tiny acts of care that aggregate into a rich appearance. The third piece change is especially useful for transitional weather. A trench coat is perhaps the most rich-looking item of clothing ever invented. You could be wearing pajamas underneath, but if you put on a crisp, belted trench coat, you look like $1 million. It's a classic for a reason. Another great third piece is a long cashmere scarf. Instead of wrapping it around your neck tightly, let it hang long down your front. This creates those vertical lines we talked about and adds a layer of luxurious texture to your look. Let's address the hardware coordination again. This also applies to your eyewear. If the frames of your glasses have gold accents, try to match that to your jewelry. If you wear silver-framed glasses, lean into silver jewelry. Your face is the first thing people look at, so your eyewear is actually your most prominent accessory. Coordination here makes your whole look feel symphonic, rather than chaotic. Everything feels like it was meant to be together. I also want to touch on grooming because it is the invisible 8th wardrobe change. You can wear the most expensive clothes in the world, but if your hair is dry and split or your nails are jagged, the look won't hold up. Looking rich is about maintenance. A neat hairstyle, a perfectly pressed white shirt is a signal of order and affluence. It's simple, it's timeless, and it's one of the best investments you can make. Don't forget about confidence. Style is 20% what you wear and 80% how you feel in it. These changes are designed to make you feel like the best version of yourself. If you try a monochromatic look and feel boring, then it's not the right change for you yet. Maybe start with the structured handbag first and see how that feels. Fashion should be a joy, not a chore. It's an opportunity to play and express the incredible person you have become over the last 5+ decades. I often think of fashion as a language. Each of these 7 changes is like a new word or a more refined sentence structure in your visual vocabulary. By using them, you aren't just getting dressed. You are telling a story of success, grace, and timelessness. You are showing the world that you haven't faded into the background. You have simply moved into a more refined and powerful stage of life. Think about the women you admire most. Often, it's not their beauty that captures you, but their aura. That aura is built through these small, consistent choices. They choose the better fabric. They get their sleeves hemmed. They coordinate their metals. They understand that style is a form of self-correction. We all have things about our bodies we might like to minimize and things we'd like to highlight. These 7 changes are the tools that help you do that with grace. As you go through your closet this weekend, I want you to look at each piece and ask, is this providing me with structure? Is the fabric of good quality? Does it fit me perfectly? If the answer is no, don't feel bad. It's just an opportunity for a change. You don't have to replace everything at once. Start with one category. Maybe just focus on your 3rd pieces this month. Incorporate a blazer or a duster coat into your daily looks. See how much more stylish and rich you feel. One of the best things about being over 50 is that we finally know who we are. We don't have to chase every passing trend. We can focus on classics and quality. This is the core of the rich and stylish look. It's a steady style. It doesn't scream for attention, but it certainly commands it. People are drawn to the quiet confidence of a well-dressed woman of experience. I also want to mention posture. It is the secret 9th change. No matter what you are wearing, if you are slumping your shoulders, the clothes will look cheap and tired. Imagine there is a string pulling you up from the top of your head. Pull your shoulders back and down. This simple adjustment improves how every single garment sits on your frame. Looking rich is also about the fit of the shoulders. In any jacket, coat, or shirt, the shoulder seam should sit exactly where your shoulder bone ends. If it hangs down onto your arm, the garment is too big and looks sloppy. If it's pulled toward your neck, it's too small and looks strained. A garment that fits perfectly in the shoulders instantly looks more bespoke and expensive. This is one of the most important things to check when you are shopping. Another tip: avoid heavy logos. Truly wealthy-looking women rarely wear large, obvious designer logos. It's what we call logomania, and it's often associated with new money or trying too hard. If you want to look rich and stylish, let the quality of the fabric and the perfection of the fit be your brands. A stunning silk blouse with no visible label is much more high status than a cotton t-shirt with a giant designer name across the front. It creates a sense of mystery and class. Finally, think about your outerwear. For many months of the year, people only see your coat. If you have an elegant outfit underneath but a worn-out, shapeless puffer jacket on top, you lose the style battle before it even begins. Invest in one stellar wool coat in a neutral color like camel, navy, or gray. It's an investment that will pay off every single day during the winter. It's the ultimate rich first impression. I am so excited for you to try these 7 simple changes. You'll be amazed at how much they transform not just your reflection in the mirror, but your entire outlook on the day. Remember, fashion is a celebration of you. It's not about following my rules or anyone else's. It's about finding the luxury in your daily life. You have the wisdom, you have the grace, and now you have the wardrobe hacks to show it all off. Thank you for spending time with me today. Your journey to looking rich and stylish is just beginning, and I can't wait to hear about the transformations you make. And always prioritize quality over quantity. You deserve to look and feel as incredible as the life you've lived. Go out there and shine. Your most stylish decade is happening right now.